Ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about something most people are afraid to say out loud. A truth that makes some uncomfortable, but sets others free. In a world where intimacy is often reduced to techniques and surface-level performance, we've forgotten the deeper power of a woman's touch and what it truly means when a man chooses to honor it. This conversation isn't just about sex, it's about energy, connection, and presence, the kind that can't be faked and never forgotten. You know, there's something deeply misunderstood when it comes to women who are comfortable giving pleasure. Society has done a brilliant job of making women feel ashamed of their own sexual curiosity, their desires, and more so, their ability to confidently give asterisk. And yet, some of the most self-assured, emotionally intelligent, and grounded women I've encountered are the ones who are unafraid to please their partner, not out of duty, but from a place of power. Let's talk about it. When a woman makes the choice to engage in something as intimate as oral sex, not because she's pressured or trying to prove something, but because she wants to, that's a different level of maturity. That is not a weak woman. That is not a woman with low self-worth. That's a woman who has stepped into the fullness of her feminine energy because she understands that pleasure is a two-way street, and intimacy is not about giving to get, it's about presence. Presence in the moment, presence with your partner, and most importantly, presence with yourself. We live in a world where so many people are doing things from a place of performance. They're trying to be what they think the other person wants, rather than actually being themselves. So when a woman licks a man, kisses him, touches him, and does it with intention because it brings her joy, because she enjoys the connection, because it makes her feel sexy, she's not just giving him something, she's reclaiming a part of herself. Let me be clear. This isn't about submission. It's not about bending over backwards for a man to validate you. It's about knowing your own power so deeply that you're not afraid to explore, to give, to express. When a woman is confident in her body and in her choices, she doesn't shrink. She doesn't need to hide behind shame or fear. She knows who she is and what she wants, and when she chooses to give pleasure, it's a choice rooted in freedom, not desperation. That's why these women who give with confidence and sensuality, are often misunderstood. People will call them names, label them as too much, or say they lack self-respect. But that's just projection. That's discomfort talking, because not everyone has done the inner work required to understand that sexual confidence is not the same as recklessness. In fact, it's the opposite. It takes emotional strength to be open. It takes emotional safety with yourself to let someone in. Women like this are not the most because they give head. They're the most because they do it with presence. They show up in the moment. They're not performing, they're connecting. Their confidence doesn't come from how loud they moan or how wild they can be in bed. It comes from knowing they are in control of their experience. They are grounded, and that energy, that security in self, it's magnetic, it lingers. It makes a man feel seen and wanted in a way that goes beyond the physical. And when she does it without seeking applause or expecting anything in return, when it's just an extension of who she is, it's even more powerful. She's not trying to manipulate him or use sex as currency. She's not looking to be rescued. She's simply standing in her fullness, fully aware of her sensuality, fully in control of her expression. That kind of woman is unforgettable. Men know the difference. They might not always say it, but they feel it. A woman who moves with that kind of confidence in the bedroom likely carries that same energy in every other aspect of her life. She walks into a room and doesn't compete, she commands. She doesn't settle for crumbs, she's already full. And when she gives, it's never because she's empty. It's because she has more than enough to give. That's what makes her the most, not the act, not the technique, but the energy behind it, the confidence. The intentionality, the wholeness, and when a woman gets to that place in herself, nothing about her feels performative or shallow. She becomes the kind of lover, partner, and woman who doesn't just make love. She creates space for emotional intimacy, healing, and truth. She becomes the most, not because of what she does, but because of who she is while doing it. That's the difference. Let's be honest, when we talk about sexual energy, people often get uncomfortable. There's this misconception that sex is purely physical, just about the body, about release. But what if I told you it's so much more than that? What if I told you that when a woman understands the energy behind sex, when she understands how masculine and feminine energy flow together, she unlocks a whole different level of connection? This is where we need to shift our thinking, because this isn't just about what happens between the sheets. This is about recognizing that within every one of us, there's a balance, feminine energy and masculine energy. And when a woman chooses to honor her partner's masculine essence, to respond to it, to complement it with her own feminine power, something sacred happens. It's a kind of dance. It's chemistry that you can't fake, and it goes far beyond technique or performance. It's felt deeply. Now, when I say V/Gina energy, I'm not talking literally about the physical organ. I'm talking about a kind of presence, a kind of rootedness in your divine feminine. A woman who embodies that kind of energy isn't just soft or nurturing. She's powerful, she's intuitive, she listens, she feels, she moves with purpose. She's not trying to control, but she's not passive either. She brings balance, mystery, and grace into every space she enters. And when she connects with a man who's secure in his masculine energy, their union becomes something electric. See, a lot of people don't realize this. Sexual energy is spiritual energy. It's creative energy. It's what births ideas, businesses, visions, and of course, life itself. So when a woman truly taps into her feminine core and chooses to pour that into her partner, to uplift him, to awaken the best in him, not by shrinking herself, but by expanding into who she really is, she's doing something far more impactful than just being a good partner. She's becoming a force of transformation. And here's the thing, when a woman chooses to honor her man's masculine drive, his ambition, his hunger, not just tolerate it, but celebrate it, she's not just feeding his ego. She's speaking to his soul. She's saying, I see you, I respect your fire, and I'm not here to compete with it. I'm here to fuel it. That's the kind of woman a man doesn't forget. Because she's not trying to overpower him, and she's not trying to disappear behind him. She's standing beside him as an equal force, different in energy but aligned in purpose. There's a certain level of maturity required to understand this. Because let's be real, if you're still viewing relationships as a battlefield where one has to win and the other has to lose, then you haven't tapped into this yet. But when you start to see sex as a sacred exchange of energy where masculine and feminine come together to restore, to ignite, to heal, then suddenly every touch, every kiss, every intimate act becomes more than just a moment. It becomes a portal, a bridge to something deeper. And no, this isn't about being perfect. This isn't about always being soft, spoken, or nurturing. That's not what feminine energy means. Feminine energy is dynamic. It's wild and still. It's fierce and gentle. It's knowing when to lead and when to surrender. And when a woman knows how to navigate that, when she knows how to feel her man, not just physically, but emotionally, spiritually, she becomes magnetic, irresistible, and it's not because she's trying. It's because she's in alignment. Asterisk women who embody this kind of presence are the ones who can look a man in the eye during sex and see beyond his body. They see his pain, they see his hopes, they see the little boy he hides from the world, and when they offer themselves not as saviors, but as safe spaces, that kind of intimacy becomes unforgettable. Healing, deep and yes, sometimes overwhelming because it exposes so much truth. This is the essence of sacred connection. When you worship not just the body, but the asterisk being asterisk behind the body, when you understand that intimacy is about energy first and actions second. You can't fake that, you can't manufacture that, and that's why women who understand this aren't everywhere. They're rare, they're intentional, and they're often misunderstood because they move differently. They love differently, and they're not afraid of the depth that comes with true connection. When a woman worships a man's energy, honors his fire, and matches it with her own feminine depth, she creates more than pleasure. She creates purpose. And that's when sex becomes sacred, not because of the act, but because of the energy behind it. That's the kind of woman who stays on his mind long after the night is over. There's a difference, a big one, between performance and connection, and sadly, in the world we live in today, too many people have confused the two. We've created a culture that's obsessed with looking the part, sounding the part, faking the part, especially in the bedroom. And so many women are caught in this cycle of doing what they think they're supposed to do, rather than showing up as their full, present, sensual selves. Let me say this clearly. Sex is not a performance. It's not a scene. It's not something you do to get claps or praise or approval. If that's your mindset, you're missing the entire point of intimacy, because real connection, deep soul level intimacy